In this video, we're going to show how to do a patch of the Wizard software using the patch zip file for minor version patch updates versus having to do a full install or an uninstall, reinstall of the Wizard. Now the reason for using the patch is that will retain any customizations you've made to the Wizard database or any settings in the Wizard. Having to do a full install or an uninstall, reinstall, that will remove any database settings that you have made, any customizations in the Wizard. Those would all have to be remade. All of your projects, all the documents you've created, those will always stay on your hard drive. Uninstalls won't remove your project folder, but it will remove the database entries for those projects. So this is why you want to do a patch versus a full install or uninstall, reinstall. Now, how do you get to the patch files? So on our website, you can always get to it through the Help Center link and then the Wizard software patch link. That will get you to this form where you just put in your order number and order email address, and it will verify your order and it will give you a link to the patch zip file. This form will also be displayed when you do an update check from your Wizard software and it sees that you have the same major version but you are out of date on the minor version. What that means is, say you have the Wizard version 15.2 and our patch version is currently 15.14. So that would be a case where you would install the patch versus a full install. Now say if you had a much older version of the Wizard, say Wizard version 12 or 13 or 14, you have to do a full reinstall. Now it's okay to do an install of a newer version of the Wizard versus an older version, say if you had version 14 and you're upgrading to version 15, because the Wizard will always install new major versions into a completely new folders, and it will completely retain any of your old Wizard installs. So you can actually run an old version of the Wizard and a new version at the same time. Then you can also transfer your settings between versions. That's a more complicated process. So if you can avoid having to do all that and you have the current major version and you're just behind on the minor version, use the patch. Okay, so once we've submitted this form and we get to the patch download page, you'll have a link to download the patch zip file. Once we've downloaded it, you can open it up and you'll see the files in there. And the Wizard patch file, it'll always start with Wizard patch. It'll have the major version number, in this case 15, the minor version number 14. Now note the installer, if you have a file called ppwizard install.exe or ppwizard novice install.exe, that is the installer program for the complete version. So you do not ever want to run that because that will not patch your Wizard. Okay, do not run the full install exes to try and patch or update an existing install. Only use these patch zip files. I'll just get this over desktop. Now, there's a couple different ways to extract zip files. You can right click and sometimes get an export option or extract option. And you have to make sure you get the folder that you're exporting or extracting into exactly right, because you want to overwrite your exact files. So an easier way to make sure you get it right is just open the zip file so you see the list of files in the zip file. And then on your hard drive, go to where you installed the Wizard. By default, It'll be on your C drive. There'll be a folder called Proposal Kit at the root of your C drive. Click into that. And then you'll have a folder called Proposal Pack. Click into that. So C/Proposal Kit, Proposal Pack. Now if you change the default install folder when you first installed it, you will have to find on your hard drive where you did the install. Just find that folder and you'll see Proposal Pack Wizard Win and then the version number, or Win10s version number. So if you see these files, you know you're in the right place. Any proposal packs you have installed, those will be in folders here. Those aren't going to get updated by the Wizard patch. So we'll show here, we'll just open up this version. So we have installed Wizard version 15.2 and we're patching it to version 15.14. So we just go over to our zip file, select everything, and we'll just drag and drop. And it'll ask if we want to replace the files, just say yes. If you get the message saying to replace any files, that means you get it right because it sees you're overwriting. If it just copies over a bunch of files or you extract a bunch of files and no messages pop up, you might want to double check you actually exported it or extracted it to the right place. So we just wait for it to copy. That's all there is to it. We can close the zip file. And just to double check, let's just open this wizard. And yep, we can see we now have version 15.14. So that is all there is to using the patch zip files to update your wizard if you have the current major version and you're just out of date on the minor version. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.